You know, in the world of artificial intelligence, a week can feel like a year. But what happens when a whole paradigm shift just unfolds in 48 hours? We're going to dive into 2 days, back in September 2025, that saw absolutely record breaking deals, world changing tech, and a massive fight over the future of AI itself. And it all kicks off with one staggering number: $17.4 billion. Let that sink in for a second. That's the value of a single AI infrastructure deal that was signed in this 48-hour window. It just captures the sheer scale of the money that is pouring into this technology right now. And this is the heart of our first theme, what we're calling the AI gold rush. I mean, we are witnessing a flood of capital like never before, fueling this revolution, with valuations that are just completely off the charts. And just look at the variety behind these insane numbers. You've got Microsoft's $17.4 billion deal for GPU cloud capacity. That's a pure infrastructure play. Then there's Mistral AI, a French startup now valued at almost 12 billion euros. Databricks hits a mind-blowing $100 billion valuation. And even a more specialized startup like 11 Labs, the one that clones voices, is seeing its valuation double to over 6 billion in just a few months. Speaking of Mistral, their deal is about so much more than just the money. It's a huge strategic move. They're partnering with the Dutch chipmaker ASML, and by doing that, they're building this powerful European alliance. It's basically a homegrown answer to OpenAI, and it's a clear signal that this AI race is now truly a global one. But all this investment, it's fueling innovation that is just pushing the absolute limits of what we thought was possible. And that creates this natural tension, right? This is where you see these incredible technological leaps run headfirst into legal, ethical, and, regulatory boundaries. Okay, so to really get the next breakthrough, you need to know about this key limitation in AI called the context window. The easiest way to think about it is like the AI's short-term memory. The bigger the window, the more info it can handle at once, like reading a long report or even a whole book. And for a long time, this has been a major bottleneck. Well, to see the change, just look at this comparison. Researchers at Meta announced a technology they're calling Refrag, and it completely shatters those old limits. We're talking a 16 times longer context window and generating responses 31 times faster, all while keeping the same accuracy. So what does that actually mean? It means AI models can now digest entire books, massive legal documents, almost instantly. And at the exact same time, Google is making AI more mainstream than it's ever been. They're integrating an AI-powered tutor directly into their iconic homepage doodles. So you click on it and it turns Google Search into this interactive learning tool. And we're not talking about some niche application here. This is weaving sophisticated chatbot technology right into the fabric of the world's biggest search engine. But, of course, every breakthrough seems to test a new boundary, and all this new power is igniting the chaotic side of this whole equation, a massive legal fight over who owns the very data these AIs are being trained on. $1.5 billion. That is the record-breaking amount the AI company Anthropic agreed to pay to settle a class action lawsuit from authors. The claim that their copyrighted books were used to train the Claude chatbot without permission and without payment. This is a landmark moment, no question. And make no mistake, this is not just about one company. This is an industry-wide reckoning. Apple, OpenAI, Meta, Microsoft, they are all facing similar lawsuits. That Anthropic settlement, it isn't the end of the story. It's just the first major domino to fall in this huge copyright battle. So all this legal chaos, as you can imagine, is fueling a huge push for new rules. The next major battleground? It's in California, where a landmark AI safety bill called SB 53 is creating this really fascinating and deep divide within the tech industry itself. And check this out. The bottle lines here are, well, they're kind of weird. On one side, you have the big tech lobbies arguing that state-by-state rules are just going to kill innovation. But on the other side, surprisingly, is Anthropic, the same company that just paid out that massive settlement. They are openly supporting the bill, arguing that you need proactive governance to prevent catastrophic risks. All of this, the money, the technology, the legal fights, it all funnels down to the most personal and honestly the most contentious question of all. What does this mean for our jobs? Is AI going to be a helpful coworker, or is it going to be an outright replacement? Dario Amodei, Anthropic CEO, offers a pretty stark warning. He says AI could wipe out up to 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs.
And he says that, privately, a lot of CEOs see AI as a tool for one main thing: cutting costs by employing fewer people.
But then, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you have NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang. His take? He says, quote, "I disagree with almost everything in that." He really believes that AI is going to augment what we can do and transform jobs, not just destroy them. So who's right? The truth is, nobody knows. The leaders of the world's most powerful companies are completely split. You've got OpenAI's Sam Altman, who's optimistic about new roles being created. But then you have IBM's CEO, who has already paused hiring for jobs AI could soon do. And Ford's CEO is right there with the warning, predicting AI could replace literally half of all U.S. white-collar workers. And that brings us full circle. In just 48 hours, we've seen both the revolutionary promise and the chaotic disruption of AI. We are navigating a true paradigm shift, and the pace is just relentless. As one venture capitalist put it, every week in AI now feels like a year of progress a decade ago. I mean, just think about that for a second. The speed is almost impossible to wrap your head around, and it forces us to confront some really difficult questions about the future we're all building together. So after all this, after this incredible 48-hour whirlwind, we're left with one really crucial question. The technology is accelerating at light speed, but are our laws, our ethics, and our social structures keeping up? That is the question we are all going to have to answer, and probably very, very soon.